Russia has condemned a U.S. decision to send extra troops to Europe to support its NATO allies, amid continuing fears of a Russian invasion of Ukraine. Moscow said it was a destructive step, which heightened tension and reduced the scope for a political solution. The Pentagon said 2,000 U.S. troops would be sent from North Carolina to Poland and Germany, and a further 1,000 already in Germany would go to Romania. Russia has some 100,000 troops near Ukraine. It denies planning to invade. The tensions come 8 years after Russia annexed Ukraine's southern Crimea peninsula and backed a bloody rebellion in the eastern Donbas region. Moscow accuses the Ukrainian government of failing to implement the Minsk agreement, an international deal to restore peace to the east, where Russian-backed rebels control swathes of territory, and at least 14,000 people have been killed since 2014. The Pentagon earlier said the American troops being deployed would not fight in Ukraine, but would ensure the defense of Washington's allies. Their deployment is in addition to the 8,500 troops the Pentagon put on alert last month to be ready to deploy to Europe if needed. It's important that we send a strong signal to Mr. Putin, and frankly, to the world, that NATO matters to the United States, and it matters to our allies, Pentagon spokesman John Kirby told reporters on Wednesday. Meanwhile, intense diplomatic efforts continue to try to find a political solution to the crisis, amid fears it could blow up to a full-scale war in Europe. Russian President Vladimir Putin discussed Ukraine with UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson by phone on Wednesday. Mr. Johnson told Mr. Putin, "All European democracies have a right to aspire to NATO membership," a Downing Street statement said. Russia opposes Ukraine joining the security alliance. Rivalry between Russia and the U.S., which still possess the world's biggest nuclear arsenals, dates back to the Cold War. Ukraine was then a crucial part of the communist Soviet Union, second only to Russia. Mr. Putin said, the U.S. had ignored Moscow's concerns in its response to Russian demands for legally binding security guarantees, including a block on the NATO alliance's further expansion to the east. Romania, which is hosting some of the newly deployed U.S. troops, is home to a U.S.-built Aegis land-based missile defense station, which Russia has described as a security threat, since it opened in 2016. Stay tuned for the latest news.